Hey, this is Eric from Cafe Watercolor and welcome to this week's Coffee Talk. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Q&A and the painting critique. I received quite a bit of replies, so thank you guys very much. I'm looking forward to talk to you about the painting one by one, and I look forward to answer your questions. And I actually get one mail, like physical mail, with a photo of the painting attached and a handwritten letter saying that I'm okay to share the painting and critique it. So that's really mind-blowing because I haven't been receiving physical mail from like anybody besides ads and stuff. So that's very wonderful. Thank you so much. And the second thing I want to talk about is I have been trying to adjust my lifestyle, my sleeping schedule. I come across this talk of Mathew Walker, who is a sleep doctor. He did this talk in Google talking about the importance of having enough sleep and having a consistent schedule for sleeping. It kind of hits me, kind of triggers me to make that adjustment because we all know that it's important to get enough sleep and it's important to sleep early and wake up early, right? But it never really hits me, it never really triggers me that is that important. And another reason is because of my family. So what happened is usually around 8 to 9, I will have to help my wife to get the kids into bed, give them a shower and tuck them in, read them story and things like that. And it works well if they always comply, but that's not usually the case. A lot of time I have to go back up because they're not sleeping. I have to go back up because they start playing, making sound, making noise. And I have to, kind of put on a mean face and tell them, you guys should be in bed now. So go to bed now. And that hasn't been working so well because even there are times that I have my wife to take care of the kids and tuck them in, I still need to run upstairs occasionally just to intervene. If you're an artist, you understand that when you're getting to the groove, when you start to work in painting, I'm like in the middle of the wash or I'm in the middle of editing a video and all of a sudden I need to drop everything and go to take care of something else. I got interrupted. It affects me emotionally and affects me productivity wise. There are times that I got frustrated and I start to kind of outlash on them. I always regret that later. I shouldn't have to done that. So adjusting my sleep schedule, meaning that I will take all the things that I want to do and move it back to the next morning. And at night, I will just focusing on get them ready to bed, spend time with them so I don't have that mindset of I need to rush them to bed so I can start to do my own thing. So I can actually kind of slow down, restore it to them, tuck them in, and after they're in bed, I go to shower and I go to bed immediately. So we sleep in the same room because we have this big room that can fit into multiple beds. So I sleep in the same room with them. After I shower, I go to bed, even if they're not asleep yet. When they see that I go to bed, they will more likely to sleep early and they will more likely to sleep better. It works out quite well for me. The first few days is a pain because my biological clock hasn't been adjusted to it. I will fall asleep, but I will wake up multiple times during the night. And the next morning, I'm really tired because my biological clock, it wasn't just adjusted yet. So I woke up around like 4:35 a.m. and I was really tired, but I will start to get changed and I will go outside and take some deep breaths, do some stretching. And the morning air in Pacific Northwest is so crisp and clear and just wonderful. So that's one of the benefits. I get to wake up early because the air quality is so good and it really gives me this refreshed feeling. And it works out pretty well. I actually feel that my mind's more clear. It's really quiet in the morning except some bird sound, which I don't mind. They're really nice. I don't have that sense of urgency, sense of rush that, yeah, I want to really finish this so I can go to bed or something. And I don't have to constantly worry about, I don't know if the kids are asleep now, I need to run upstairs and try to talk to my wife and things like that. It really gives me a nice, clear time for me to focus and be productive. And I've been doing that last week, and I finished a commission painting here, and it turns out pretty well. I'm actually really surprised myself because it's a really complicated scene. I was able to simplify the whole scene down so that it have depths, but still maintain its complexity of the scenery. So it turns out pretty well. I'm really happy. The client's pretty happy. And I think a lot of that's due to I waking up early to have that clear mind, refreshed feeling, so I can be really focusing on making good work. So it's been really helpful to me. I need to be really disciplined because that means that after I send the kids to bed, I need to cut off my screen time almost entirely. I need to cut off my time with my phone, with my computer, with my tablet, whatever. And sometimes I cheat it a little bit. I say, oh, okay, I want to finish this one last thing. And a lot of time is like doing the first wash of watercolor, or just one more stroke. And that usually ruins the whole wash. And so that actually applies here as well. If I try to do that one last thing, next thing I know, I start just browsing the internet, watching some YouTube video, or start to scrolling around on my newsfeed. And that eats away time faster than anything else. I end up spending an hour on screen. I really need to be disciplined not to do that. So I try to shut off my phone or put it into flight mode or whatever and set out an alarm clock and leave it. This is really important. I hope that I can consistently doing that. Requires discipline, but I believe I can do that just because I see the result of doing that just within 1 week. So I want to do more of that. I want to continue to do that for my health, for my family, and also for my work as well. Just really beneficial for me to do that. So another thing I want to talk about is I've been starting to do a little bit more sketch on my sketchbook. And the reason for that is because I don't always have the time to finish entire painting. A lot of time I have some free time, some little chunk of free time, like 30 minutes here, maybe 15 minutes here. And that's not enough time for me to do a complete painting. I usually need to have at least about an hour and a half to do like a 12 by 16 painting. Doing sketch is really helpful to get my hands on drawing and reading shape and things like that, doing value study, and it helps me to not lose my touch for drawing and painting, and at the same time it kind of satisfy my need for creating, satisfy my need to wanted to draw and do something artistic. So it's been really helpful for me, and again I wish I can keep going with that whenever I have free time. So that's it for this week's coffee talk. I really appreciate your viewing, and I'm really glad I can talk to you guys about these things in my life, and I hope you enjoy watching this as well. And a new painting video is gonna come out pretty soon, so hit subscribe if you haven't. And if you have anything to ask me, and if you're trying to adjusting your sleep schedule as well, leave a comment down below, and yeah, let's share our experience together. And I believe this is really good for us. Let's really make ourselves to have a more healthy lifestyle, as well as making ourselves more productive and creative. If you're painting this week, let it flow, let watercolor do its thing. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.